here coming at you guys for yet another NFL take. NFL Atlanta Falcons fan appreciation, aka a Q&A session for you guys out here. Gonna answer a few questions in regards to this Atlanta Falcon team, obviously, but got a couple of comments here that I want to kind of to get in on because there's a lot of expectations. There's a couple of questions that I really wanted to kind of get in on and give my take on it, and like I said, in turn, at some point in time, go into depth with something else. But as it pertains to this Atlanta Falcons team, Atlanta Falcons comment, there is quite a few things that I want to speak on, but one, before I get into the Falcon stuff, I'm gonna give a little slight bit of the talk about two things because I want to give my personal take on it. A couple of things. The first one, just got to get in on this Antonio Brown situation because, like, personally, I gotta be honest, Johnson. What's going on, brother? First one. All right, Antonio Brown situation, obviously, being arrested for attempted murder. Like, these are the reasons why you gotta watch the people that's around you, man. Like, this is so, like, this is so avoidable. I once heard Tupac say that he can't go to the hood because he can't go back to the hood because those people in the hood don't have anything, and they don't have much, and these people end up robbing him. He can't go to the rich people because he doesn't fit in because he's black, obviously. But Jonathan, throw that comment back in there. I don't know why it's retracted, but if you can throw that comment back in there, be greatly appreciated. But you don't fit in a rich neighborhood because you look down, and you go to the black neighborhood, you go back to the hood, and you can't fit in. Well, that's why you need to buy your own property, especially if you got guys like Antonio Brown that has the necessary means. How you doing, John? You have the means to do so. Man, look, do what Boosie did. Boosie learned the hard way. Okay, going to jail, almost getting killed several times. Like, he learned the hard way that you can't go back to the neighborhood and the neighborhoods that you grew up without proper security and proper measures. Well, this is one of the reasons why I say it's like, one, a lot of karma, Antonio Brown, but this situation, I tell people all the time, man, when you get the money and the means to be able to, when you get the money and the means to be able to live a certain way, man, why in the hell would you want to go back? Why would you want to go back to Dade County? Dade County is one of the worst fucking cities, counties, Miami there is. Why would you want to go back? But this dude makes a concerted effort to go back and to hang out with people that don't want to change their lives. These people have not changed their lives. Yet you continuously go hang out with these people. This is pure ignorance. This is pure ignorance. If you are a guy that makes well over you made well over $30 million, $20 million. And I'm positive you got a couple of $1 million in the bank and investments yourself, Antonio Brown. Why in the hell would you want to go? Why would you want to go back? Why would you want to go back to Dade County? Hey, I don't give a damn if it is for a celebrity match, like boxing match. Why don't you have the proper security? You got people walking up on you trying to take your stuff. Like, obviously, you should have the proper security around you to begin with for this to happen. So it's just pure ignorance on his part. Now, I'm not going to get into too many details as far as whether or not, it is true, the attempted murder part of things. But this is exactly what happens when you think that you are, different from other people. You're like, when you're different and you're above and you think you're above certain actions, people can get at you and people will get at you. Why? Because you have what they want. Either it's the spotlight or and material things. I don't know why the hell are you even in Dade County? Why are you in a position where somebody has to try to steal your things? And again, all of the details about this situation isn't out. We'll eventually get to that, but this dude is now wanted for attempted murder. Whether or not the rumors are true, the alleged rumors are true about him, those people trying to take his chain, don't know the full details, but it's a lot of things that out. But I always say this, bro, get your money and get out. Don't go back. Okay? If you don't have to go back, do not go back. Why? Okay? And when you go back, and if you go back, please don't be an arrogant prick. Don't be stupid enough to think that because I'm Antonio Brown and I got people and people on people and friends on friends on friends that nothing would ever happen to me. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people thought that. I'm sure Biggie thought that. I'm sure Pac thought that nothing would ever hurt these guys. I'm sure Martin Luther King thought the exact same thing when he had damn near his entire crew hanging around him and he still got his head blown off. I'm sure Malcolm X thought the exact same thing too when, he's preaching in a certain spot and he decides, black people, a number of people end up blowing his face off. Okay? I'm sure a lot of these people thought that nothing. But do yourself a favor. If you can avoid it, if you can get security, you can get the proper security, stay away. Okay? If you don't have to go, don't go. And if you go, have the proper security. From what I understand and what I'm saying, you got a bunch of hood Negroes around you thinking ain't nothing gonna happen to you. That's foolish. Okay? Stop being foolish. Get somebody like an OG. Oh, shout out to OG Truth. That's been security. Okay? These guys have been security. They've worked with not only law enforcement, but they've secured themselves and they've worked with a lot of high profile, prestigious people. Let these people do the work for you. Let these people keep you safe. Don't go to your hood and hire a bunch of people that you grew up with to keep you safe. That's foolish. This is exactly why things like this happen, is because we don't think somebody else can get at us. Okay? We don't think that some other people can't get at us. So as far as Antonio Brown is concerned, it's unfortunate. But if this situation can be avoided, please avoid it, people. Just pure ignorance. There is some other things in regards to, what was it? I know it was the Antonio Brown situation, but right off the top, I'll get to it. But answer a few questions in there. If there's a chance Kirk could win the starting quarterback job, Johnson, don't be stupid. Okay? You know that damn question. No. Hell no. Would you want him to be? Come on, Johnson. Like, come on, bro. You know this question. Come on. Stop. What he gonna win back? How he gonna win back? Why would he, Jonathan? Bro, what are you smoking? Like, what are you smoking this morning? Okay, it's 10 o'clock in the damn morning, and you already starting out with questions about Kirk Cousins. He can't even get other people, okay, to ask him if he's, look, let's just say he is a good quarterback. Let's just say he is a good quarterback. Why would the Atlanta Falcons want him? Why would the Atlanta Falcons want him to start? That's the first and foremost. Before we even ask any other questions, like why would we want him as the starting quarterback? That right there is the point. It's not even the fact that if he can do it. My thing is, why would that benefit the Atlanta Falcons for him to be the starting quarterback? That right there is the bigger question. Why? Why would the Atlanta Falcons want him? After the debacle that we saw last year, that's the biggest thing. Why would we want him as the starting quarterback? Why? Like you don't let these NFL, and I know where it comes from, it stems from. We got stupid people like that, Mark Fleury and all these dumbass people in the national media because they bored. They don't really have real stories. They have real stories, but they don't care about the real stories. How the Jalon Walkers of the world are. How the James Pierce Jr.'s, all these guys are in training camp. They don't care about whether or not these guys going to be, what they're doing in training camp. They don't care about how Tyler Algier is going into his last year, his deal, and the Falcons could potentially, trade him, or he could end up walking into free agency. They don't care about that. They want to sit up here and try to make again, this is all about headlines when they talk about Kirk Cousins winning and starting position. Like, what the fuck is he going to win after what we saw last year? That man was literally walking on one leg, and we up here talking about, not you, but these guys up here talking about Kirk Cousins winning back a starting job. For what? Even if a young Penix struggles, there's no reason to put Kyle Pitts. There's no reason to put Kirk Cousins in that thing. No reason. There is zero reason for him to even be in there. So that's the biggest thing for me. There's no reason to make him the starting quarterback after what we saw. I like to go on what I've seen from Kirk Cousins, and I haven't seen diddly fucking squat that suggests that he can play 17 games without being hurt. So, like John says, his arm would have to fall off in order for that to happen, and I don't know how arms fall off, just all willy nilly. So absolutely not. I don't say that. Okay. Oh, he said that's when it happens when you talk about hanging around streamers and TikTokers. I mean, look, all of this. I mean, let's keep it real with this streamer shit. Like, I just read a couple of days ago about a couple of streamers and YouTubers end up getting killed or shot or something like that because they had a beef with some guy a guy who was a YouTube streamer. They end up going at it and they end up shooting them, killing them. It's like, everybody just think because they on the internet that they safe. So they say a whole bunch of reckless shit. They say a whole bunch of reckless shit that end up getting them messed up. Like, people don't understand that you can't be seen. Just because you're on the internet, you're an internet sensation. People will walk up on you on these streets. People will see you in these streets. Okay? Don't get this shit twisted. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people just don't. Everybody get this shit twisted as if they cannot be touched. So that's the thing with me when it comes down to, these damn streamers and whatnot. AB hanging around the wrong people, getting on the internet talking crazy and reckless, and then think they can't be seen. Nah. If you can avoid the beef, avoid it. If you can bury the hatchet on some bullshit, do it. Okay? It's better off doing that. Trust me. I've lost quite a few of my friends to jail and death. I lost my best friend at the age of what? I met him when I was 13 years old, and he died on some dumb shit. Got shot in the back of the head over some dumb shit. Over them play wrestling. He didn't like the fact that he got body slammed in front of everybody, so he decides to go inside of my friend's truck, pull out his gun and shoot him in the back of the head because he didn't like being embarrassed. Nobody thinks this shit can happen to them. Another incident growing up with a dude named Casey, who I went to school with. An absolute bully. He just thought he could kick everybody's ass. And I'm sure AB probably thinking the same thing. Look, me and my boys can kick everybody's ass. Well, guess what happened to Casey? He got on the motor bus, thought he was real tough and he can kick everybody else because he was kicking everybody else's ass. Guess what? Somebody didn't want to play fair. Somebody didn't want to play fair with Casey. And guess what? They poked him about 10 times on the train. Died. So don't get up here and think because you're on the internet that you safe. Okay? This internet stuff is not going to keep you safe. If you can bury the hatchet. Because as always, I know y'all heard this shit before. As always, your mother and your father always said, look, you can't whoop everybody's ass. You can't whoop everybody's behind. So, AB, get your shit together. Stop getting out here talking all this crap on the internet and talking all crazy about people, because at some point, somebody's going to want to see you. And that's not fun. So squash the beef, let the bullshit go if it ain't worth it. But there's a lot of things that's going on here in regards to that, man. Well, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Mike? It's one thing that martial arts shows you do. I haven't done it for any benefit of me, but the fact that other people, look, at the end of the day, man, it's like martial arts always going to teach you the art of patience, the art of trying to resolve an issue. That's why I personally, I always tell people, it'll take boxing lessons or take martial arts. It'll teach you, and for some people like me, the military, it taught me patience and all that and how to manage my anger, because I had major anger issues, believe it or not, y'all. And I couldn't control. So nearly got kicked out of school a couple times because of it. So the thing is with that, man, like, it's always somebody bigger, badder, and tougher than you. And stop getting out here running your mouth like you really about that life. OG truth, I always say, man, if you ain't built like that, stop trying to act like you built like that because somebody gonna come and test you. If you ain't built like that, don't try to act like that. Let it go. And it's just going to be a great factor for us with him getting in-game experience last season, the confidence boost. Like I said, look, Kirk Cousins is not winning that job back. That is not his job. Period, point blank. He lost that last year. And in my opinion, the only way he would have been a starter for year 2 this year anyway, is if he took this Atlanta Falcons team to not only the playoff, but a deep run in the playoffs. That was the only way he was going to be starting as the second year for the Atlanta Falcons. The plan all along was to sit Michael Penix for the year. If things go astray, then the Atlanta Falcons would deviate from that plan and do what they ultimately did, and that's put Kirk Cousins down. Just put him down for the most part. Um, but but the thing is, with that, a lot of people, yeah, the thing is with Michael Penix, for the most part, is always about. It goes back to he is incredibly talented, and I just don't see. I don't personally see Kirk Cousins being the starter for the Atlanta Falcons for no reason outside of injury. Even if Michael Penix struggles, they're going to keep him in there. There's no reason to do that. There's no reason to bring in Kirk Cousins as a starter whatsoever. What do you think about the Tennessee Titans? Well, I'm gonna be honest about this. So, I'm not a believer in Cam Ward. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he has arm talent, but I don't think he has the mental aspects what it takes to be a great quarterback. Now, that does not mean that he's going to be a poor quarterback. That doesn't mean that he's not going to put up good numbers. But I just don't see what's special about him. If you're asking me, he's he's a lighter version, and I was going to be disrespectful, but you're new to the channel, but he's a lighter version of what Cam Newton and Justin Fields are. I just don't see what's the hype behind him, especially just as a quarterback, not his skills. Now, if you look at his skills, he has the size. He's a big guy. He's a big guy with a big arm. He has the ability to make all the throws, but that's not what the NFL is. Not about your abilities and your skills, your physical skills. It's not about your physical skills in the NFL, because everybody got physical skills. Everybody has physical skills. Everybody has those tools, those 4 or 5 tools that NFL scouts are looking for. Everybody has those. But what gets a lot of these guys over the hump is the ability to work hard, play hard, and the mental aspect, understanding what the scheme is. But for a quarterback, everything is up top. Knowing how to for one, you would have to know how to get. You have to read. You have to have to know every aspect. And this is one of the things I always over here. You got to know everybody's position. You got to know the running backs, the wide receivers. You got to know the slot guy. You need the offensive lineman. You got to know their job better than they know theirs. And for me, I don't think Cam does that. I don't think he's great in that aspect. Now, when I look at a guy like Shador, I see a guy that's freaking brilliant. I see a guy that's ready mentally to be a quarterback. And I'm talking about just the abilities to connect with his teammates, to understand the scheme, when and what he's seeing when it comes down to the reading the defenses, the psychology, getting the ball in the right hand of players. Like, already that's what when I see Shador, I see a guy that is ready from the mental and psychological part of the NFL. When I look at Cam, he reminds me of Cam Newton. He's just a big, athletic, goofy ass guy that doesn't really know how to read defenses. And one of the things that not only myself with K Styles we saw with Cam Ward is, like, he just stands in the pocket like he got 24 years. There's no sense of urgency when I look at Cam Ward. You know, I see his ability to throw the ball 60, 50, 60 on a fucking rope, throw the ball sideways. You know, that sidearm delivery that we've been seeing a lot on social media. He just has all the physical tools to be a great runner in the NFL. So he has all of that. But I would personally, I would say, Titan Plug, I would start Will Levis. That's what I would do. But I don't know the climate other than just from what I understand about the Tennessee Titans fan base. I don't know the climate of because end up firing. I want to say I want to say Teddy Bruschi, but I know that's not the name. Good guy, Arthur Smith, great best friend. It'll come to me, but I don't know the climate of the fan base itself. So starting Will Levis is not going to sell tickets. Starting Will Levis is not going to get a lot of fans excited about that. Unless you are a true fan, I say start Will Levis at least for the first 5 games or so. Because like me, I would do what the Atlanta Falcons did with Mike Vick. Give Chris Chandler, because Chris Chandler started the first 7 to 8 games before we end up bringing Mike Vick in there. Mike Vick came in there week 8, 7 or 8. I think it was week 8. He came in there half the season, got his debut, and for the most part, he played okay for a rookie. But he brought that excitement to the team. And I think if you want to get the best out of a Cam Ward, I say start Will Levis the first and just chalk this season up to, look, we're not gonna get to the playoff this year. But if we want to be a good team in the long run, I would sit Cam Ward down for at least 8 games. At the maximum, 8 games. I would sit him down for 8 games, let Will Levis come in, and you never know what you're going to get out of him because he could end up clicking, play well, and then you can end up trading Will Levis to another team for a 4th, 5th, because everybody's always looking for a young quarterback. You can look at guys like Sam Darnold. A lot of people didn't think that he would be. They didn't think Sam Darnold would get to this point where he pretty much resurrected his career. So, I wouldn't get too I wouldn't get too much. I wouldn't get too caught up in that, to be honest. I would not start Cam Ward, but I would start. But Tennessee defensively, I think they got some damn good defensive linemen. I think their front is very freaking good. One of the most underrated fronts in the NFL. That goes without saying. Defensively, corners. I don't know. I'll just every time I look at Mike Vrabel, I always wanted to say Teddy Bruschi, but no, that's not his name. But the Falcons actually drafted his son. At one point, he was with the Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily start Cam Ward. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start Cam Ward. I would just go with Will Levis and then go from that point. But yeah, I do Tennessee. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a rebuild, but it's critical. It's pretty much what the Falcons were with Matt Ryan and where the Atlanta Falcons were with Matt Ryan in 2019 and 2020 for Julio Jones. Appreciate it, Bill. But that's what I would do with Tennessee. I would try to be, because you got guys like Warren Moon there that could kind of help guide him properly. And like I said, he has the athletic ability, so you don't have to just rely solely on his arm. And I think that's a tricky situation because he reminds me of Cam Newton. He reminds me of Justin Fields, and it's not a bad thing. But where I think Tennessee went wrong, or where Chicago went wrong, where Chicago went wrong. But that's where Chicago went wrong. They just relied on his athleticism and his skill to throw football, but they didn't think about the mental aspect and the psychological aspects of being a quarterback. They just threw him out there and said he's a superstar and let him learn the hard way. No, I believe that a quarterback and players should, if they shouldn't just be thrown in the line of fire. And I think you playing with another young quarterback in Cam Ward that has potential if you're just throwing him out there to the wolves. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that if I were the Titans. So should he Falcons, do you think the team is right? Right now it seems like old brick is rubbing off on both sides of the ball. How Falcons do you think this team is right now? I'm actually glad because I got quite a few. I got but no, I think, at the end of the day, it's like a lot of these franchises get so carried away with these. They get so carried away with these players' athleticism and gifts. They forget about the mental aspect of the game, especially quarterbacks, and they end up fucking yet another and another and another. How many quarterbacks have we ruined because we want to sit up here and focus on what? Their athleticism, their athletic gifts. Well, he needs to throw. He need to come in. He need to run. Well, that's what happened with Justin Fields. So if I were Tennessee, I would see what we got in the young quarterback. What they was 4-12, 4-13. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But as far as the Falcons and how focused, I mean, I don't disregard. I don't take whether or not the Atlanta Falcons are focused. The thing is, I don't care nothing about Raheem and what he be talking about. I want to see action. I don't care. I don't care nothing about that action. I don't care about nothing what he says when it comes down to his to what he be saying. Anybody can say a whole bunch of stuff to make it look real cute and pretty, which is why we having this show. And one of the things that kind of got me and why I wanted to have this conversation is that a lot of people just seem just to think because you got a lot of talent on the roster, that's all you need in order to win and put up a bunch of points. But there has to be structure. And to be honest, the structure starts with the coaching staff. The coach has to be comfortable enough to understand what his guys can and cannot do. And one of the things that I hear when I hear Falcons fans, they point the finger at Jimmy Lake. They point the finger at everybody except for Raheem. Well, Arthur Blank, he shouldn't have hired this guy. He shouldn't have drafted this guy. And this is the reason why the Atlanta Falcons. Well, what about the head coach? Well, Jimmy Lake, he gave the defense over to Jimmy Lake. Yeah, he did give it to Jimmy Lake. Okay? But what is Jimmy Lake? He was a first-year play caller. If it was about winning from the beginning, why the hell would you hire a first-year defensive coordinator to come in and help develop a defense? He's never done that. This guy's a first-year defensive coordinator, been in the NFL for less than 5 years, and you make him a defensive coordinator, and then we got fans and these stupid ass players on top of it. When they get mad, they want to point the finger at Jimmy Lake. When the motherfucker who hired Jimmy Lake is not getting any, he's not getting any criticism. We point the finger at Jimmy Lake. You're bad. You're a terrible defensive coordinator. Well, who freaking hired him? Who the one who said that he could do it? Arthur Blank ain't the football guy. He's the money guy who happened to know and love football, who is continuously learning more and more about the game, the ins and outs of the defense, the ins and outs of special teams, coaching staff, and offense, defense. Like, he's learning all these things. But a guy like Raheem Morris has been in the game for 20 plus years or so. But we want to point the finger at Jimmy Lake because, oh, Jimmy Lake, he was a terrible defense coordinator. I wonder who put him in that spot. I wonder who thought that it was a good. Let's put this in perspective of what this like. What is this like? This is like, you got a draft. I just say NFL draft, an NBA draft. You got Michael Jordan, you got Yao Ming, and you got Steve Nash. You say, I need a superstar that's going to win me championships for years and years to come. You got Michael Jordan. We know what Michael Jordan was in college. We know what his potential that he exhibited. We got Yao Ming, who came in the league. We had no idea what Yao Ming was going to be. We thought he was going to be another tall center. Nobody knew what Steve Nash was going to be. We thought he was just another point guard. We had no idea what these guys are. But we knew that Michael Jordan had potential to be a megastar in the NBA because of what he did in college. So this is why bringing in a Jimmy Lake was so ignorant on so many fronts, but it was never about winning. If it was about winning, you don't hire a Jimmy Lake. It was never about winning in the first year. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but it was never about winning. You don't bring in a Jimmy Lake if you are a defensive coordinator and you trying to win. Raheem Morris knew this was going to be for him. This was going to be an experimental year for him. But he needed someone to put blame on, and that guy ultimately was Jimmy Lake. And like William said, we found that out real quickly with the Chargers and Denver game. They got embarrassed. So it was never about winning. Sarah to say it, he came in doing all that talking, but it was never. You just look at the actions and what he did. I can clearly say this without any doubt in my mind that it was never about winning for Raheem Morris from the very beginning. He wanted a situation where he would have a real opportunity. Excuse me, but he wanted he needed a place where he can get a real opportunity to finally build the team the proper way. So he brought in a guy defensively to kind of be a sacrificial lamb. Jimmy Lake was a sacrificial lamb. I'm not going to debate whether or not he was a good defensive coordinator. I think we all can say no, but at the end of the day, it was never about winning with Raheem Morris. It was about establishing himself and security for himself as a head coach. It was about establishing himself as a head coach. He knew that the Atlanta Falcons was going to give him 2 to 3 years to kind of get it together. He already knew that. If he knew right off the bat that it was going to be tough, he would have did what Arthur Smith did. Anybody remember what Arthur Smith did? Because Arthur Smith was a first-time head coach, and a lot of teams passed on him because they didn't think he had the necessary experience to build a team properly. What did he do? There's one move that Arthur Smith did to help his case in becoming the Atlanta Falcons head coach. One move that he did, that he made to sell himself on it. Because this is essential when you look at it, and these are the things that what I try to remind and teach people about football is that you just got to look at the moves. Don't look at the superstar players that they bringing in. Look at the moves that they are making with their coaching staff, with the front office. When you see these guys making these moves with the front office, it tells you everything that they trying to do. That right there, John. That is right there, my friend. Arthur Smith brought in an established defensive coordinator. Why? Because he knew that he had to make an impact and show organizations that he had an ability to be a good head coach. He wasn't worried. He knew he didn't have 3-4 years to play around with like Raheem Morris. He already knew that. If he would have came out and had a 3-14 year with the Atlanta Falcons, we wouldn't be looking at Arthur Smith as the head coach in his second year. I can confidently say that. He will be out of here. He would have been out of here if he would have been there. So that's the thing when it comes down to a lot of these coaches. They do a whole bunch of talking, but when you look at their actions, it says otherwise. The Atlanta Falcons promised Raheem Morris that they would give him an opportunity to prove himself, which is fine with me. But as a fan, I don't have to like that bullshit. Because guess what? I'm a fan. And a lot of times fans and players are on the same boat. Why? Because I don't have 2 years. Some players don't have 2 years to wait till they fucking head coach to get it. I don't have 3 years on my contract like a Michael Penix, Drake London, or Bijan Robinson. I'm on a 1-year deal. Fuck Raheem and experiments. And it's not just Raheem. It's a lot of coaches around the league that does that. And we know for sure that a guy like Kyle Shanahan, he's done this. He sacrificed his players because he know he got 3, 4, 5 years to play with. So he gonna fuck around with a guy like Roddy White. He gonna make their life a living hell. Why? Because Roddy know he on borrowed time, but Kyle Shanahan know he can make mistakes because he got 2, 3 years to prove it. He know he got 2 to 3 years to prove it. So he gonna make dumbass decisions. He gonna experiment with a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna cost a lot of people their job, players and all. But as a fan, I don't have to like that shit. I do not have to like that. You know, and that's the thing with the Roddy White. He deserved better than that, but because Kyle Shanahan wanted to hurry up and prove himself as a head coach, he came in here, move a whole bunch of bullshit around, didn't care about players, none of that type of stuff, because he was in a hurry to prove right then and there. So he didn't care if he had to sacrifice a Roddy White, an older player that's been there and done that. He didn't care nothing about that. He wanted to hurry up, put his system in. That's why he brought that piece of crap and Leonard Hankerson in, because he wanted to hurry up and just get rid of a whole bunch of people that wouldn't do what he wanted to do. That was going to fight him. Anybody that was going to fight him and hurry to get him to where he wanted to prove himself, because that's what it was about with Kyle. He didn't care about whether or not guys could fit in his scheme. He was worried about bringing guys in that was going to do what he wanted them to do. That's a part of the business that a lot of people don't really take time to think about. And this is why we're looking at Jimmy Lake. Everybody pointing the finger. Well, the Falcons defense sucked because Jimmy Lake. Well, that's the whole point. Raheem didn't care if the Falcons defense sucked. He wanted to come in, lay the foundation to this Atlanta Falcon defense, to his scheme. Then he can bring in his boy, which ultimately was Jeff Ulbrich. Get back to Rick's question on whether or not the Falcons, or whether or not the Atlanta Falcons are really they feel confident in what they're doing. I believe they feel confident in what they're doing. I believe they are hyped, but like at the end of the day, it just comes down to the fact that the Falcons head coach Raheem knows he has another year under his belt. After this year, he has another year under his belt. I think he signed like a 5-year deal with the Falcons. So he know he has at least one more. If he just finished the year with the exact same record of 8-9, he'll be back. He'll be back. I guarantee you he'll be back at the Falcons end up 8-9. Because he know. Because the Falcons are they're not in a position right now where they can just fire coaching staff and fire front office guys. Because Raheem gone, there's a lot of changes going to happen in that front office. So I'm here to tell you guys, there was never about winning in his first year from Raheem. They brought in a guy that was going to sell y'all a bunch of nonsense and sell y'all a damn dream, like he's standing on the corner selling y'all food, selling y'all old stolen items. That's what he was doing. Yeah, like I said, I don't gotta like it. As we said about Julio, football is football, and business comes first. You handle your job, and that's That's what I want people to really. I want Falcons fans. I just want NFL fans to understand the business comes first. Okay? Comes first. The Falcons at that time, when we drafted Julio Jones, we needed a star. We had an aging Tony Gonzalez. Roddy White, for the most part, was a star in his own right. Had been in the league for quite some time, developed a chemistry with Matt Ryan, but we needed Matt Ryan to help get to another level, and we were investing in Matt Ryan. He was the star, but we needed a guy opposite of him, of Roddy White, to replace a Tony Gonzalez because he wasn't going to come back. He was contemplating the last couple of years in Atlanta. The Falcons really, like, he had to talk to his wife about playing in Atlanta. So the Falcons at that time needed to invest in a superstar offensive player. And that's why we ended up trading damn near all our picks to Cleveland for that. Now, it was an investment that worked. But this is why the Atlanta Falcons are doing the things that they're doing with Jalon Walker and James Pierce Jr. They're investing in this team. They know who their guys are. They know the cornerstone of the offense is Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson. Everybody else, no shot at Drake, but this is a Bijan and Michael Penix team right now. If Drake don't act right, guess what? He gone. If he up here trying to act for $35 million a year at wide receiver, he gone. I can promise you that. This is Bijan and Michael Penix team. I hate to tell y'all like that, but the Falcons, after what happened to Roddy White, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, Cavarelli, they will never trust another wide receiver like that. I can happily say that. I can gladly say that. I can proudly say that. Bold statement right there. The Falcons will never, ever trust another wide receiver. I promise you that. And this is all Julio Jones' fault. This is all Julio Jones' fault. They will never, ever trust another wide receiver. This is all Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones are the reason why the Atlanta Falcons will never, ever trust another wide receiver like that. You either going to do it their way, you're going to play team ball, you're going to give them what they want, when they want it, or your ass is up out of here. Look at, if you don't believe me, look what happened to Grady Jarrett. What did we do with Grady Jarrett? They said they loved him. Oh, Grady Jarrett is he's the perfect Falcon. He's all in the community. We love Grady Jarrett. I want him to be a Falcon for life. Guess what happened? Ding dong, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Gone. Grady didn't want to play ball. He didn't want to give them no money back. Falcon said, all right, bye. We don't need you. Bye. Falcons are not playing that shit no more. They're not playing that crap no more. The Atlanta Falcon that we saw years ago, and this can be a fault. This can be a fault for everybody. This is a fault for guys like Jerry Jones. A lot of these owners love these players, and they forget about the fact that the business aspect of things. I mean, he loved Tony Romo so much. That dude showed you time and time again that he was never going to be able to go anywhere, but he stuck and just kept giving him more and more money, thinking that at some point in time that he was going to what? At some point in time that he was going to eventually get it. Tony Romo never got it. But Jerry Jones just kept giving him money. And it's the same thing with Arthur Smith is learning himself. Mr. Blank is learning himself that you can love players, but don't get too attached to them. Because at the end of the day, it's about business. It's about the brand. What's going on, E Mac? What's going on, brother? But the topic at hand, I want to kind of get into it. Y'all can throw some questions in there also. But this is Jesse James, and the reason why I titled the live show this is because of this comment and Raheem's version of, Raheem, what he said about Jalon Walker. All right, so he said, I've never seen the championship team make such a big deal talking about who the leader is. Well, I don't know what the hell you've been, Jesse James, but that's literally every championship team. They figure out who's going to be the leader. Who's the cornerstone of that defense? Who's the cornerstone of that offense? Who's the cornerstone of the entire team? That's how you build championship players. I don't know where you from, but that statement in itself doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make sense whatsoever. Nobody says, I'm going to draft LeBron James, but I don't want him to be the leader. Nobody says, I'm going to draft Michael Jordan, but I don't want him to be a leader. Nobody drafted, the Atlanta Braves didn't draft Chipper Jones to say, no, I don't want him to be the leader. When you take guys that high, you look at their character, you look at what they can, their traits, especially in the first round, you always look at their traits. Every championship, every coach, every defensive coordinator, the first thing that they look for a defensive coordinator, all right, who's my leader? What's my middle linebacker? Where's the leader? Where's the leader of this team, of the secondary? That's the first thing they look at. It's the leadership and the skill set that goes together. Sometimes you get both. Sometimes you get more, a little bit more than the other. You got guys that are great players, but they're not necessarily good leaders. Sometimes you get great players and great leaders. D'Amico Ryan, guys like Deion Jones. Like, Deion wasn't a great leader, but he was a great player. Jesse Tuggle had the skill and he had the leadership qualities. Sean Witherspoon couldn't stay healthy, had the energy, had the skill, and he had those leadership qualities. Every coach always looks for those things. He goes in to say, it's almost like if a championship team have enough professionals on their team, on their roster, they can actually prioritize who is actually making plays. 30% of every interview they do is about the leader. Every team, that's every team, bro. Every team look for their leaders. The Atlanta Falcons knew exactly what they were doing when they signed Jesse Bates. They already knew that when we got him, he was one of the leaders of that Cincinnati defense, and that defense hasn't been the same since Jesse Bates left. That defense has not been the same in Cincinnati since Jesse Bates left. It has gotten progressively worse, especially that secondary. So I really don't know where you get this from. And maybe it's just the fact that you're not believing in what Raheem is selling, which I understand. But every team looks for the leader. He goes on to say, it says, those guys left no doubt that they were leaders. So let's go back and see how many interviews Bill Belichick did and went on about Tom Brady and Brewski. Well, yeah, Tom Brady wasn't the leader of that offense when he first started. He gradually became, but he's already had those qualities. He already had those qualities when they drafted him to begin with. That's why he ended up taking Drew Bledsoe's job, because he had those qualities. But that's the thing with this. People think a lot of times that it just comes overnight, which why I'm having this live too is because we got to give Raheem a break in that regard. It's not going to be an overround. It's not going to be an overnight thing with success in regards to Raheem Morris and his team. Everybody want him to just exhibit, those championship traits right now. Everybody want to say, all right, we need to be a top 10 defense now. That comes in time. All that shit comes in time. Like, again, that stuff comes in time, but a lot of people are not thinking about the fact that, these young guys like Jalon Walker, and like I said, I've seen enough of Jalon Walker coming off that right side of the left side of the offense, the right side of the defense, coming across them corners. That dude look good already, man. It's crazy. He's already looking good. And he's already exhibiting those traits that we already. I knew they were there just watching them at Georgia. Like, because there was a lot of guys that were a lot more athletically gifted than him at Georgia. But that dude was a true leader. Wherever they need him to be, that's where Jalon Walker was. But a lot of the fans just think overnight that we just gonna have a leader. No, that takes time. You got some that are natural born leaders like Ray Lewis, but come on, people. Let's be real. Chances are I find a damn another Ray Lewis is me going back to goddamn BC before Christ. Okay? We don't have a time machine so I can go back and see to see how the climate was before Jesus came. I don't have a time machine before that. I can't go back and tell the Romans, yeah, you better not kill Jesus. I can't go back and tell it. I can't go back and do that. So we can't sit up here and expect things that are a once in a lifetime type of thing. You will never find another linebacker like Ray Lewis, ever. Yeah. And pay Kevin Banks, like, look, bro. Look, that man, I'm telling y'all gonna have so much fun watching Jalon Walker. I promise y'all. And look, I'm a dog fan, but I'm not your typical dog fan that's gonna look this slobber on any and everybody. Because everybody's slobbering on Jalen Carter. I think he has a lot of faults. I knew Jordan Davis had a lot of faults coming out. But this Jalon Walker, this dude is him. That dude can play every position, bro, on that front. He can play right, left, edge, strong, weak, and middle linebacker. And he can turn around. He may be like an inch shorter than most edge guys. But this damn Jalon Walker is something else. I'm telling y'all, you're going to have so much fun watching him. But Raheem is right when it comes down to picking leaders on the defense, picking leader on the team that's going to lead this defense for years to come, because this is no longer Grady Jarrett's team. This is no longer A.J. Terrell's team. I hate to tell y'all, but this is Jalon Walker and this is James Pierce's team. This is their team. You don't draft two edge guys like that if you're not going to build around them. It doesn't happen. You don't bring in Jeff Ulbrich in to not be able to build something around them. they brought Jeff Ulbrich in to develop those guys. They didn't bring Jeff Ulbrich in to develop AJ Terrell. Because like we all know with corners, after their first contract, typically they don't get a second one. Yeah, Will, like I said, that's the thing about Jalon Walker. What I see most about it, it's uncommon for a guy that is above about 6'1" to kind of get low and explosive as Jalon Walker does. That dude with his height, I think he goes about 6'2" or so, 240, 250 somewhere in there. I think it's like closer to 240. But his explosiveness maybe a little bit bigger than that. But no, I think he's about 240. But for him to play off the edge with the explosiveness and the power and the Main Street, like that dude is, yeah, Jalon Walker is something else. Like I said, not to say that James Pierce Jr. is not a good prospect. I think it's going to take a little bit more time for Pierce Jr. to really figure out the ins and outs of that front seven, of playing in the front seven in the NFL. Now, he definitely has the higher upside to be a better edge than Walker, obviously with the size and the athleticism, the length. Like, that dude is a perfect prospect in regards to what scouts are looking for. Pierce is that guy. Perfect body, perfect skill set. Yeah, I think it's 6'2", so Will. Like that dude is very special when it comes down to it. But like what I like about Jeff Ulbrich and what I'm most excited about with this defense is our linebackers. He's going to be able to teach the edge guys, but we're going to see a much improved linebacking core. We're going to see what Troy Anderson, if he stays healthy, what he can do, because we got a glimpse of that before somebody fell on his damn leg, his knee last year, and pretty much screwed him up. But like that happened. J.D. Bertrand is another guy that I have high hopes for, because I think he's very physical as a linebacker, and you always need those blockheads on the defense side of the ball that is willing to run into anything and hurt themselves. That right there is J.D. Bertrand. That dude's a blockhead. He don't care what the hell he run into. He likes running into people. You always need guys like that. Both guys are explosive, Bedard. But like I said, if I'm being honest, Pierce has the higher upside just due to the fact that like what offenses are going to do, they're going to put bigger tight ends on a lot of these edge guys. They're going to put bigger tight ends to blocking the Charlie Warners of the world. So Jalon Walker, being that he is 6'2", and that's not short, but it's considered short in the NFL, because most of these guys want edge guys to be about 6'3" and up to play on their edge against these big physical tackles and tight ends. I mean, it's getting to the point where they're putting guys like Drake London on these edge guys. So you got to be able to, to be physical enough to play on that side. And another thing too, Mucho, that a lot of people just expecting Troy Anderson just to be the middle linebacker. That dude is an athlete, okay? And Jeff Ulbrich is going to find a way to utilize his athleticism. Everybody just think he's just going to be the middle linebacker. They're going to use this dude in places where he can be an athlete. where he can use that speed and he can use his instinct, because he has very good instincts being a middle linebacker. Watson, Bowman are like, they got some good pieces, and that's why I say it's like a lot of these guys on this team right now, a lot of people think they're gonna be here. Like, Caden is gone in my eyes. Falcons not gonna pay $8 million plus for a guy that's gonna come in. Unless Caden had one of them years where he had 10 plus sacks, he ended the year with 10 plus sacks. I don't see it happening, especially with a Braylon Trice, Walker, and Pierce there. I don't see how Caden survives. Just me personally, I don't see how he survives. Especially with the Falcons not having a first round pick next year. I don't see how he survives. I think he walks. So it's a lot of things with this, like I said, with this team and this defense that that is going to be definitely going to be interesting. But that Jesse, like I said, I understand what you're saying about leadership, but you couldn't be more misguided by saying that the Falcons are paying too much attention to leadership. No, I need guys that are vocal. I'm tired of the Grady Jarretts of the world. One thing about Grady Jarrett that frustrated me and pissed me off personally was the fact that every time something going down, he was always the first one saying, "Man, I'm just here to do my job. I just let them do their thing." They look, no, bro. Call the bullshit out. We need guys to be vocal. We need the Fred ones who's not afraid to speak their mind and speak their piece about a situation. That's how you get better. That's how you challenge each other. Somebody got to step up and be willing to call somebody out on their bullshit. And not because, oh, we best friends and, oh, I just want to have you here because of such and such. Nah, call that motherfucker out. Call this person out for their nonsense. We cannot continue to allow players like Julio Jones to come in and not work hard. He sit on the corner while we practicing, and the coach just perfectly fine, okay with it, because I want to get my money and I don't want to upset nobody. Man, forget that nonsense, bro. I need my linebackers and my team like a right that ain't afraid to call out a coach for his nonsense. We need that. Enough of these choir boys. I need somebody that's willing to talk trash and be loud in situations where we need them. So like I said before, man, don't get it twisted. Leadership is damn important. It's really important. And we cannot underestimate how being a vocal leader and a leader is. Matt Ryan did everything by the book. When we needed him to step up and put certain guys in place, guess what he did? He went at Julio. He told Tony Gonzalez, don't fuck around and get to the spot. We need somebody on defense that's going to do the exact same thing. Call these motherfuckers out. When was the last time that we saw that Grady Jarrett getting into it and saying, all right, my defense need to get this stuff together because we can't keep playing like this? He got on. He got in front of the media. Every man, look, man, I'm just tired of this shit. Same shit, different year. Man, get out of here with that nonsense. That soft ass crap. Grady was a real soft boy when it come down to speaking his mind. He spoke his mind to everybody else, but sometimes you need to make that shit public. This shit will not be tolerated. My defensive front, we ain't doing it. We need to get our shit together. The defensive tackles need to get better at stopping the run. No, be fucking bold about it. Stop being a coward and worried about hurting people's feelings. Say what the fuck, say what needs to be said. One thing I can say about this Falcon defense, nobody called nobody out. Everybody sat there with stupid looks on their face. Everybody sat with them stupid looks on their face, holding their Falcon helmet, walking back and forth, and Twitter tweeting about it. Somebody needs to be the vocal leader and step up. I don't give a fuck who it is. Somebody need to step up and say, all right, this is what needs to happen. And we don't need nobody who ain't got no weight not stepping up. We need starters. Don't nobody give a flying crap about no damn backup. It's like Kirk Cousins stepping up and saying, man, our offense need to play better. No, we don't need Kirk sitting on the bench, Cousins, speaking for Mike Penix. No, we need Michael Penix saying he's the leader. He's the guy that's he's going to be on the field. No, absolutely not. We need our head coach to get his shit together and say, look, this ain't it, Kirk. Because I can tell you one thing, he started going after Mike Penix after he let Kirk Cousins look like an absolute bum for 5 weeks in a row and did nothing, and he stayed behind him. Yeah, man, Kurt is our guy. Kurt is our guy. Kurt is our guy. Kurt is our guy. He did that week after week after week. Kurt is our guy when this dude was absolutely playing like crap. But the second that he goes at Michael Penix for any mistake, well, no, Mike got it. No, we can't keep doing like this. If he calls out Mike Penix like that, look, it's gonna be a civil war in Atlanta, because he didn't say that about Kurt. He stood behind Kurt. But as far as Kirk Cousins is concerned, like I said, I don't care. Shut up, teach. That's his job at this point. Shut up, teach, and be ready to play when we need you, if we need you. Shut up, teach, and play when we need you. That's it. Shut up and do your backup job. Right now, he's the backup. That what came out of his mouth. Right now, Kirk Cousins is the backup. So his job is to be able to teach and to help teach not only the Easton Sticks of the world, but the wide receiver, the backup, the Quincy Skinners, all those guys, the Nick Nash, all these guys. He need to be able to teach these guys right now. Like, I don't care nothing about all that. He can, like, Grady Jarrett can go to hell, and the Falcons can go to hell with that nonsense. You can kiss my natural black ass about good guys in the community. I don't give a damn about no good guys in the community. I don't care nothing about no good guys in the community. I want a motherfucker that's gonna spit in his grandma's face if she's on the opposing side of the defense, the opposing side of the offense. I need somebody that's gonna be able to stab a motherfucker on the field if it's needed. Y'all can keep all that nice guy persona to y'allself. We need some thugs. We need some killers on that defense. Y'all don't think Ray Lewis would have killed this and knocked his own mama out if she was on that field? He would have knocked her ass clean the fuck out. Why? She was an opponent. You don't think a guy like Mean Joe Green wouldn't have got at these motherfuckers? No, he would have got at these motherfuckers. You in my way, I'm knocking you the fuck out. That's the attitude that we need to have on that defense. Knock them the fuck out. But we're up here, goddamn, we want to build a team worth of goddamn Martin Luther Kings on defense. Nope. We need some Malcolm X's on our defense. That nice guy shit ain't working for us. It hasn't worked for us. So the hell with that. The hell with Raheem and his fucking smiling. I didn't fucking stutter. I said exactly what I meant. Mucho. I did not stutter. What do you think Ndamukong Suh did? That motherfucker was stepping on people's hands with his cleats. That's stabbing, motherfucker. That's stabbing. He poked the shit out of people with them damn cleats. That man was dirty. I need my defense to be. I need my defense and my defense coordinator to be nasty. Fuck being nice. Y'all think Johnny Abraham was a nice guy on that defensive line? No, sir, he wasn't. ATL Leo, what's going on, boy? She said we paid folks to put belts to asses on the field, not players walking grandmas across the street. Look, bro, look. That's what I'm talking about. Enough of that. This nice guy and community guys, nah, kiss my ass with that shit. Yeah. Yep. I need somebody to be able to chip block them up, like a cut block a motherfucker if I need them to. I need offensive linemen that's gonna do exactly that. Y'all guys really think that Alex Mack was a nice guy? That dude was dirty, man. Alex Mack was dirty. He didn't become one of the best centers in the world by being a nice guy. He was dirty. He used a lot of dirty tactics. So no, hell no. So like I said before, no more Mr. Nice Guys. Y'all can kiss my natural ass with that Raheem and all this smiling. It's too much motherfucking smiling for no results. Fuck him and his smiling. And fuck whoever out here smiling when we fucking not getting to the playoffs. You can kiss my ass. I don't care. I don't care about smiling and players being able to get along. Man, get the fuck out of here. This ain't Sunday church. This ain't fucking service. It's football. You're there to knock a motherfucking head off. Like my boy. Jesus Christ. Like Marshawn Lynch say, I'm gonna run through a motherfucker face. If my player don't have that mentality and he doing all this fucking smiling, he can kick. Look, he off my team. I need these motherfuckers around me that's gonna be down for the cause. Motherfucker talk shit about me. Look, let's knuckle up, motherfucker. If you ain't knuckling up with us, you off my squad. I can't trust you. If you can't knuckle up and you're not willing to knuckle up and stand pat for the team, bye. Like that team has become our fan base has become way too reliant on feelings. Y'all too infatuated by these damn scouts. Y'all way too infatuated with scouting reports and, oh, here's a 5-star athlete. Y'all way too infatuated with it. Y'all care about how a motherfucking dance on the field, whether he'll knock a motherfucker out on defense. Oh, he's fast. He gets around the edge. Yep, but is he tough? You don't care. Because you're too busy looking at fucking PFF numbers and scouting reports. Hey, Auntie Pam. We need some thugs on this team. We need somebody that's willing to bust a motherfucker score wide the fuck open on the field if need be. Yeah, we got a smiling ass head coach. Smiling, hi guys. How you doing today? Fuck that. Tell me how today James Pitts Jr. was absolutely abusing our offensive tackle. Whoever that tackle is. Tell me about that. I don't care about your damn day and how your day is going. I don't care about how these guys are doing. I don't give a shit about the media. I don't give a damn about their obsession with Kirk Cousins or whoever the case may be. Tell me that your defense is getting nasty. Tell me that. We care way too much about a motherfucker dunking the ball in the basket and shooting threes from fucking half court. But we don't care about motherfuckers like Angel Reese leading the league in rebounding. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all call her a clown for leading the league in rebounding. This is the fucking world that we live in right now. That playing defense and being fundamentally sound don't mean shit. Because we so infatuated with we infatuated with 4. Oh, he run the 4-4, he run the 4-5. This guy's gonna be a hell of a player. Where's the nasty? Where I want to see where a defensive player knocked a motherfucker clean out. I want to see where our coaches are getting at it because they know what they doing defensively is going to matter. We way too infatuated with the pretty shit. Y'all get cared way too much about Sauce Gardner and, oh, he got a chain that's worth $5 million. Man, the fuck that shit. And guess what that's getting him? Nowhere. As fans, we are being spoiled by this media. The media have turned us as football fans soft. We are soft. We soft as hell. We care about chains and he going out with Rakia Jackson. He dating Kelsey Plum. Wait, like the fuck are we talking about now? Caitlin Clark got a boyfriend. He dating him. TMZ reported that he dating him. The fuck are we talking about? Vlad, how you doing, sir? Hey, Sonia. We care about how Raheem is friends with the Falcons. Just think about that for a second. We think he's a good coach because he's friends and he's smiling on the sideline with Drake London and Bijan Robinson. That's what we care more. We don't care about the effectiveness of the secondary. We don't care about who's developing under him. We don't care about who's going to be the third and fourth defensive tackle rotation after Omiyata and Rook. We don't care nothing about that. We up here talking about him fucking smiling and cheesing with the fucking media and fans. Look, the players really love him. See, Jalen Ramsey said he's a good coach. I don't care. Omiyata and Bergeron were throwing hand, and I could not be happier. And what I got upset with is him calling the meeting because they got into a scuffle. I don't care how fucking long it was. When I see my defensive guys fighting, I say, "Oh shit! I know we got some boys that are ready to get down." It's defense. You're supposed to be physical. You're supposed to have a certain mentality. You think a guy like Willie Moe cares about whether or not the media is smiling at him? Hell no. Willie Moe don't give a damn about no media smiling at him. Or his fucking coach smiling at him. He don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing. I need my defensive players, my offensive linemen to be fighting. If they not fighting, in my opinion, they ain't fucking trying. And they need to be fighting their own. Look, when I see defensive players fighting their friends, I know we good. I know he good. I know he down for. Why you think I didn't have a problem with a Richie Incognito? Y'all remember him? Richie Incognito? That dude was a dirty slime ball on that field. Like I said, up here having a damn meeting after the scuffle. Like, if that meeting had anything to do with the fact that they had that they don't want these guys to be getting at each other like that, like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm firing Raheem on the spot for that. Hear me what I'm saying. If my coach is upset about an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman getting into a fight at minicamp OTAs, I'm firing him. On the freaking spot. I didn't fucking stutter. You can kiss my ass to anybody that don't believe, who don't like it. I'm firing him. I don't need no pussy at no fucking defensive coordinator. This is what happened to Brian Schnicker right now. The whole team with the Atlanta Braves lost respect because he wanted to stick to his fucking morals. This is why the Braves suck right now. Because he want to stick to he want to be a traditional head coach. He want to stick by the man. Look at now. The Braves don't believe in shit that they saying right now. Ronald Acuna don't believe in shit he's saying. Guess what happened? Ass. Nobody believing in what Brian Schnicker is saying because he came in a pussy and he gonna leave a pussy. That dude's soft. How you let a generational talent like Ronald Acuna get hit upside the head by multiple pitchers, and nobody does anything about it? You knock out my number one guy, I'm knocking out your number 3, 4, 5, and 6 guys. You don't touch my money maker. You think you can get to the done? Nah, you gotta go through me first. You think you gonna get the 6th man? Nah, you gonna go through me first. And I need that same mentality. This is not ballet. No, I don't care. I don't care what he said. I'm telling you, if Raheem up here giving if this dude is up here giving inspirational speeches after a physical altercation, I'm getting rid of, he is fired. You think Rich Ryan, Buddy Ryan, Jerry Glanville, all nice guys? Y'all think Bill Belichick is a nice guy? Them guys are not nice guys. Bill Parcells is not a nice guy. Sean Payton is not a nice guy. Tony Dungy is a saved guy, but he was a football player. He's not a nice guy. He teaches his guys, especially his safeties, to knock your face off. Bro, this is not ballet. When you come to play football, I need thugs on that field. I need somebody that's going to do something about what we all remember. Y'all remember when a certain Rams defensive lineman did to Devontae Freeman? And guess what happened? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when Devontae Freeman got picked up by a certain legend? That guy named Aaron Donald. Y'all remember what happened to that? No, I need my defensive coaches to be assholes. I need my defensive players to be assholes. Cause that Fred Warner in San Francisco, that motherfucker a thug. That dude is a thug, bro. That dude will knock your face off. But we sitting up here fucking happy with our head coach smiling and giggling in fucking media guys' face. Man, you don't get out of my... Man, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Better go goddamn teach a goddamn kicker how to goddamn punt. Y'all happy because he's having a good time. What, like, this is the stuff that y'all be asking for championships, and then y'all get happy because guys, like, you get happy because guys are good friends with people. That right there, Mucho. Don't be ignorant and clothesline on my brother. No, bro. I need a clothesline. Shit. I need somebody that's going to send a message. Okay? That's going to send a message to that team, get a 15-yard penalty, and knock somebody clean the fuck up. I mean, dirty. You need that. We up here talking about fucking Raheem giggling and laughing and oh, he takes such good pictures with Drake. Look how happy they are. Oh gosh. He and Bijan Robinson are such great friends. They have such a great relationship. And this is the guy that y'all want representing our Dirty Birds. We're supposed to be the Dirty Birds. We're going to turn into motherfucking Happy Birds. Y'all want this team to be the Happy Birds. Y'all don't even want the dirty part no more. Y'all thought back in black meant it was just, oh, we just back in black. No, that back in black with Jerry Glanville was an attitude. That's why we went out and drafted Deion Sanders. It was a fucking attitude. When you came to play for the Atlanta Falcons, you knew we were going to have a good defense. You knew we were going to have a good defense. You knew we were going to be physical on defense. But guess what? We want salad dressing and with no, we want the salad with no dressing. We want the salad with no cheese and no fillings on it. We want none of that. We want to go on a real good diet. Sometimes motherfuckers need some pork, okay? Sometimes we need a big fat ass steak. Sometimes motherfucker needs a big ass bowl of chili, okay? Fuck that salad. Give me some old stinking, nasty, good ass food from Afghanistan and India, goddammit. Sometimes you need that nasty ass food to get an appreciation for what it takes. Right here. I didn't know Dick Buckets could smile until after he retired. That's John, my goodness. This is what I'm talking about. You do all the smiling in the locker room. But when I see you on that field smiling and giggling and shaking motherfuckers' hands and trading jerseys, man, what the fuck, man? Fans are really out here. We are really happy about players trading jerseys. Trent fucking Williams is a monster, bro. That dude out here punching people in the face on the field. This dude punching people in the face. Why you still think he's with Kyle Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan not gonna let him go. He ain't stupid. That dude a thug, bro. That dude nasty. This is why Caleb McGarry and Jake Matthews. Chris Lindstrom is a fucking thug, bro. Caleb McGarry is a monster. A grizzly bear killing monster. Literally. Matthew Bergeron is a hockey player, a fighter. Look at the Falcons' offensive line. What I'm saying proves it. We don't have a good offensive line because they fucking great 4-3 runners and all that bullshit 40-time. Like they're not great. They're not great offensive linemen because they are great skill players. These guys are some mean, nasty. Jake Matthews came in the league being nasty. Matthew Bergeron is a hockey player. This guy loves to fight. This is what they do in hockey. Chris Lindstrom, he's regarded as the #1 guard in the NFL. This dude is nasty. Caleb McGarry is this dude is nasty, bro. This is what we need our defense to be. Enough of this fucking smiling ass bullshit with Raheem. Get some thugs in there. All this turnover shit. No, I need my defensive player to be able to knock a motherfucker out, stand over his lying dead body, unconscious body on the field, stomp, scream, kick if you have to. Do all of that. We're not seeing any of that. Fuck him and his goddamn Kolak smile. Chandler Jones on John Jones. His arms are the longest in the UFC. Bullshit, my arms are longer than his. I'll wrestle him too. NFL trench players are built different. That's what I'm talking about, bro. We need nasty football players. We need disgusting football players. Because it wasn't nothing cool and sweet about a Courtney Upshaw. It wasn't nothing sweet and cool about a Rashad Hageman. It wasn't nothing cool and sweet with a guy like Adrian Claiborne. These were big, these guys were nasty, bro. But we fucking celebrate. Oh, Mike, you being such a meanie. No, it's football. You think Ed Reed was a nice guy because he got interceptions? No, Ed Reed will knock your head off. Troy Polamalu will knock your face off. Sean Taylor will knock your face off. They didn't care nothing about getting no damn penalty. And I'm not saying that these guys just go around doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff, but sometimes ain't no sometimes. You have to send a message to these guys that they're going to get knocked the fuck out. Y'all think John Jones is a UFC champion and one of the greatest fighters to ever live because he was a nice guy? No, this dude was a cocaine using, drug dealing, alcohol. Like this dude was a complete asshole. Complete. You think Muhammad Ali was such a nice guy and all shucks? No, Muhammad Ali was a complete jackass. He didn't care about you, your mama, nobody. You stepped in this ring, you getting killed, bro. You think Mike Tyson was a nice guy? Hell no. We live in a society now where everybody want to be fucking famous and play by the rules. No, we need some absolute insane people on our team. We don't need a Julio Jones who is scared to speak their mind. We don't need a Grady Jarrett who's scared to speak their mind. And you just gonna stand there and do their job. No, we need some absolute killers. If you gotta be drunk to do it on game day, so be it. But we need killers. Period, point blank, the end. The fuck out of here with that nonsense. So the Paul fight was scripted, but Tyson was just terrifying. Look, we all know that fight was scripted. Like that ain't even it was just good to see Mike. But that was clearly it. But like I said, man, come on, man. Look at the Baltimore Ravens. You look at the Tennessee Titan defensive front. That man Jeffrey Simmons is he's a fucking psycho. Aaron Donald is a terrifying human being. That dude is terrifying. So at the end of the day, enough with the punk crap. Enough with this fucking smiling. Let's get to knocking motherfuckers' heads off, Raheem. All right? Let's get to knocking motherfuckers' head off, and let's go to improving this defense. You and Jeff Olbrick, y'all got to improve this defense. I think y'all can do it. But firing a guy and starting all over because things aren't happening, in the time frame that we want, like, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. We got to give these guys time. We got to give these guys time. And I'm willing to give these guys time to get it right. And it's going to take more than 2 years. Going at the end of that third year, if nothing is happening, that's when you make that change. Because at this point, he's had 3 years for the most part to show who he is as a coach. And defensively, and I'm just talking about defensively, just as a coach. If he hasn't improved as a coach, okay? If he hasn't improved as a coach, Raheem, then it's time to get rid of him. But only in that third year. So that right there. Yeah. You gotta be crazy if you want to run at another human at 20 miles a freaking hour. You got to be crazy. Gotta be it. And those are the types of players that I want on my team. And that's the mentality, Will, that we have to have. We have to have that. This is why I'm so upset about speeches after a fight. I don't need no damn speech. Separate them saying, hey, y'all chill out and be gone. Fuck that motivational speech crap. I don't give a damn what it's for. A motivational speech after a fight don't sound right to me. Okay? That don't sound right to me. It's football. If they ain't cut, stabbed, or knocked unconscious, we don't need no damn motivational speech. We don't need no, hey guys, we got to preserve ourselves for the hell with that. Fight. You tell them to chill out and that's it. If them motherfuckers ain't unconscious or beat down or hurt, what the fuck we up here? Why are we having a motivational speech and shit? Nah, I don't need the low IQ. We need guys who just don't have common fucking... Look, we just got to have some daredevils. That's somebody that's willing to, we need them Navy SEAL type people. We know those people off. They just built differently. Not low IQ, we just know they built differently. We need that Navy SEAL, Army Ranger type of mentality. Marines, like we need that. And me, I'm not happy when I see my coach smile too much. I'm a competitor. Ain't shit funny if you losing. Ain't a damn thing funny if we losing. Okay? If I see you at the fucking club after we done got our ass kicked on Sunday, nah, bro, we good. Nope, I'm good on that, pimp. We done got our ass kicked by the Saints, and you up here partying with T.I. and them at a club. Man, please, get out of my damn face. Get off my motherfucking team. That right there, John, that's what you need. You need that. This is why you need that. You need people on your team. You need multiple people on your team that's gonna make you feel like you can run through a damn wall. I mean, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Draymond, but that's how Draymond, he gets his team amped up the same way. That man a headbutt on, look, that man would headbutt a motherfucker on the court just to get his team hype. That's what I want. That's what I need. If I got to headbutt a motherfucker to get my team amped and hype and get the crowd in it, let's go. Let's do it. All this smiling shit and we bros. Man, get out of here. Say that shit for goddamn Planet Fitness, okay? Because I don't want to hear that nonsense. Say that shit for Cardi B and her boo thing. Because I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear nothing about no goddamn smiles and giggles and shit where we getting our ass kicked every fucking Sunday. I don't want to hear nothing about Raheem relationship with players because they love him. Man, we getting our ass kicked, but we up here talking about Jalen Ramsey loves him. Man, please. Man, please. Absolutely not. I need that underdog mentality. Oh, y'all don't believe in me? Okay, I'm going to make you feel me. I'm going to make you feel me. So, absolutely not. So, like I said, at the end of the day, it's going to take time. And I think we have the right players on this defense. I think we got Jerry Gray, a good defensive mind in his own. Got Jeff Ulbrich, a good defensive mind. Raheem, good defensive mind. We got three heads right there on that defensive side of the ball. There's no reason why this Falcons should be below 15. There's no reason why this Atlanta Falcons defense should be ranked below 15 overall. That's it. They can be right there at 15, 16. But if you rank below with this roster and this coaching staff, yeah, Raheem clearly isn't the guy. Obviously, barring injuries and all that type of thing, but there's no reason in my eyes why the Atlanta Falcons should be below 15. They need to be right there. If I see anything, this team is ranked 20th and something overall, nah, not going to be happy about that. So that when it comes down to it, man, all this giggling and smiling and being a part of the entertainment world of Atlanta, that shit needs to die. If we want to become a championship team, we got to be like Kirby on that field. Y'all can say what y'all want about Kirby Smart, but that motherfucker is a psycho. Kirby Smart is insane, okay? He is insane, and that's the type of coach that you need. You need your coach to be out of his freaking mind. There is no doubt in anybody's mind when you see Kirby Smart on game day, you know that dude is a lunatic. You knew Nick Saban was a fucking lunatic. You knew those guys was off. But we're clapping and congratulating a guy that's fucking cheesing and smiling in front of the fucking cameras. Cheesing and smiling because the NFL media loves Raheem. We cool with that. Nick Saban didn't become a 6'5", 6-time champion because he was a nice guy. He was a smiley guy. No. He became a champion because he was a complete asshole and he was going to do anything to make sure that his team was physically and mentally ready. If he had to cuss him out, he had to cut him, he had to fire him, he was going to do whatever it takes. But you didn't see Nick Saban fucking giggling and smiling on the fucking sideline if it didn't result in wins. You didn't see Kirby Smart up here giggling and laughing if it ain't wins. Dan Lannon is another one of those guys. You can see him giggling and fucking laughing on the sideline if you're not winning. Fans care too much about people liking our head coach and our head coaches being desirable and likable. Y'all care too much about that desirable and likable shit. I need some motherfuckers I need our head coaches and our assistant coaches, our coordinators to be people that don't give a flying freak about being liked by the media and the fans. I don't need my coaches smiling and giggling and having a good old time if he ain't kicking motherfuckers' asses. If you're not kicking nobody's asses and you nice to the media, well, I'm firing you. You having way too much fun and you way too fucking comfortable for me. Cause that's all them smiles mean for me. Especially when you losing, you way too comfortable if you're doing a whole bunch of fucking smiling yet you losing. You way too motherfucking comfortable. And we got to do something about that. Now you can smile after you done kick the motherfucker ass 50-3. Smile all you motherfucking want. But if you up here smiling and giggling with your wide receivers and running backs and DBs and all that, and you getting your ass kicked and you finishing the year time and time again, 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, 8-9, and you giggling and having a good old fun with the players and the media, man, get the fuck out of here. You way too fucking comfortable. Giggling and smiling and shit while you up here goddamn finishing the damn league 7-10, 7-10. And we taking pictures, and these pictures are you just having a good old motherfucking time. Please. I don't care if y'all like it. Cause guess what? I didn't fucking smile and giggle my way to 10K. It was blood, sweat, and tears, sometimes 16 hours every day, a day, every other day, dedicated to my craft to get to 10K. That means long, sleepless nights, doing research, talking to people, communicating, picking other people's brains, other content creators. This is a daily thing. So I wasn't fucking smiling and giggling my way to this. It'll be a little good. And that's where I see this Atlanta Falcons team. We got too many fucking giggly ass fucking head coaches, too many smiley face ass goddamn players on our damn team, and then we wondering why we not winning championships. You look at Mike Tomlin, that motherfucker got championships. Okay? He done won. That motherfucker do not crack a smile until he get to the playoffs. And you're wondering why we don't have a championship here? Dan Quinn was a real good buddy to the media. He was a real good buddy to the players. And you wondering why we don't have championships. Jerry Jones was a complete jackass to Jimmy Johnson, excuse me. But he was a complete jackass. Jimmy Johnson was a jackass as a coach. A disciplinarian. Do it his way or else. That's why him and Jerry Jones didn't last long. Because you going to do it his way or he wasn't going to do it at all. Fucking smiley face ass fucking players and coaches. And then we wondering why we the Falcons don't win the championship. Because this giggly ass goddamn world that we live in now. Everybody want to have fucking fun. And then wondering why we don't have championships. We cry, you cry, we smile together. That's what you motherfuckers are up to. Y'all want to smile together and shit. But I need some motherfuckers that's When we about to go to war, let's knuckle up. Are you down to get nasty and dirty if need be? Are you willing to do that for me? I need people like that on my team. Because what we do around our way, if you don't fight, when we fighting you. Let me say that again. How we grew up, if I'm fighting them and they fighting me and you don't fight with me, we're fighting you. Everybody taking a turn whipping your ass. Sean said, I wish I hear winning is fun. Yeah, it is. That's why I like JPJ so much. It seems like he put up or shut up. Yeah. Look, bro. Look, y'all can say that smiling for good moments. But if we losing and we're not making it, we haven't made the fucking playoffs in 7 years, bro. But we up here fucking happy about Raheem being liked and giggly. The media likes him. Man, get out of here with that bullshit. We love Raheem because the media loves him and he smiles well and he wears capri pants like me and he wears the Jordans like me. To hell with that. Look at the history of champions. And I guarantee you 90% of those coaches that won championships didn't crack a motherfucking smile. We didn't even know Tony Dungy had fucking feelings. We didn't even know it. We thought, some people thought the motherfucker was slow because he just would never say anything when he was on the sideline. He would never do anything. He would never smile. He would never do any of that. We didn't even know this motherfucker had feelings. He would say, yeah, we got one win, and then we off to the next. That's it. Because it's about winning championships. This is no longer about, whoa, we won one game and one game and one game, and then we have fucking parades and shooting champagne in the fucking Falcons locker room. These motherfuckers busting champagne bottles open after one win. Every win in the first half of the Falcons season, Raheem Morris was damn near having a fucking party in the locker room after starting the damn season. 6-3. That motherfucker was having a whole party. That's true. That's true, Mucho. That's true. But you just look at it. If you don't believe me, look at all the... Anybody remember Bobby Knight? Anybody remember Phil Jackson? We didn't even know the motherfucker had feelings. Michael Jordan is regarded as one of the coldest players in basketball history. This dude would challenge and fight anybody. And the last thing that you wanted to do was piss Michael Jordan off. Kobe Bryant was literally called the Black Mamba. Mamba mentality. Stone cold killer face on the court. Just saying. Look, Reggie Miller still won't smoke with Jordan. Look, them dudes got fighting on the court, bro. All this smiley, giggly, happy ass shit. Shaking motherfuckers' hands and trading jerseys. Man, you don't get out of my damn face. People say what they want about damn Tom Brady, but Tom Brady was a jackass on that field. That motherfucker he celebrated wins and he celebrated wins and he celebrated touchdowns. Shit, even when they was winning, he was like he wasn't fucking happy. I'll give him that. Even when Tom Brady was up damn 30-10 and shit like that, he mad as hell because he something didn't go right. And he was never satisfied. We fans, shit, we see a motherfucker get 30 points and we up here having fucking, look, we calling him the next generational talent. At the end of the day, y'all can look and y'all can see for yourself. But all the players and the coaches that I named right there, Dennis Rodman regarded as an evil human being, a jackass for what he did to Scottie Pippen in the booth. All these guys. Charles Barkley was a jackass. Shaquille O'Neal, elbow fighting motherfuckers on the court. Tim Duncan, we didn't even know that motherfucker was, we thought the boy was slow. That motherfucker ain't show no feelings. He busting your ass with a straight face. What's going on? The Truth says happy birthday, my brother. God bless, man. Tim Duncan busting your ass with a straight face. He done put goddamn 46 and 20 rebounds on your ass with a straight face. I'll never forget Peyton Manning torching Jeff Saturday on the sideline for something he did wrong. This is what I'm talking about. This was a fundamental flaw with Peyton Manning, and it wasn't good enough that they was winning. It wasn't good enough that they was one of the best offenses. It wasn't good enough. They weren't just happy with it. And I know this message is going to get lost and twist and turn, but this is why I do it. I don't give a shit. But the message of this, us being nice guys to the media, us wanting to see our head coach get along with players, that shit is not going to win us championship. It has not gotten us a championship. We need jackasses, okay? We need guys that are stoic. Like, I don't have a problem with Kyle Pitts. Everybody say, man, Kyle Pitts don't show no emotion. I don't care. Catch the damn ball and do your job. I don't care nothing about him smiling and all that bullshit. Oh, he don't celebrate properly. Man, I don't care. Catch the damn ball. Do your job. I don't give a damn if, look, I don't care. Look, one thing I say about Ray Magoof, that motherfucker got about 40-something fucking turnovers in his fucking... Look, that dude is a fumble machine. Okay? Makes a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. That's why I have a problem with it. I need guys that's not going to make mistakes, not do all this dancing and prancing and wearing these goofy-ass outfits because they want attention. I don't care. Look, man came in here. I don't know what the fuck Ray Magoof came in there looking like a broke-ass, clown-ass pimp last year with that damn outfit and throw out. I don't know what the hell he was wearing. He damn near gave away 3-4 games this year for the Falcons, but he up here running he up here dressed up like a goddamn pimp. You ain't DK Metcalf. Like, DK Metcalf putting up 1,000 yards a year, That motherfucker can dress like Elvira, all I give a damn. He putting in that work. I think we live in a society way too much where we just appreciate people that's perceived to be popular and nice. The jackass is undervalued. The guy that isn't afraid to be the bad guy is undervalued. No, he's not a bust. It's just this is what came out of Raheem's mouth himself. People had expectations for Kyle Pitts, and rightfully so, because he's a number 4 overall pick. And what comes with that number, people expect you to have certain numbers, but he's not a bust. This comes from Raheem himself. So y'all can think whatever y'all want to. That's y'all expectations of Kyle Pitts, but he's far from a bust. That motherfucker Tim Duncan will put up 40 fucking points and 25 rebounds and 10 blocks in the game with a straight motherfucking face. And proceed to do the exact same thing every night, every game. That motherfucker, look, I don't care about him ever being able to fit in. As long as you give me those results all the time, we good. You can smile, giggle, laugh, and hell, you can twerk on that motherfucking field. All I give a shit. As long as you consistent and giving us wins and numbers. But again, I know what I said is going to get lost in the shuffle. But at the end of the day, look, true winners don't smile until they bust your ass and they've won championships. You don't believe me? Go watch. Go watch all the guys and all the people that have won multiple championships. All of them have the same thing in common. They are complete jackasses, and they do not care about fitting in, and they don't care about no damn media. I hated Bill and Bill, but I don't think he cared. He won 2 NBA championships. They had us up. They didn't care. They knew that their style was going to win. Isaiah Thomas, they knew their style was going to win. They didn't care not about being liked. They won championships. So, like I said, at the end of the day, enough with the smiley, giggly, media-loving tactics. We need to get some crazy, insane people that is willing to do the dirty work. And until we have that, the Atlanta Falcons will never, ever win a championship. And that's all I got to say about that. Continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports. Going to continue to do more content NFL-wise. Also, like I said, still going to do a lot of these Falcons stuff, but this is no longer a Falcons channel. We have moved on to bigger and better things. Like I said, you guys have anything specific, that's why you give a super chat. You can give super chats to remind us, especially on doing the live shows. If you have Falcons questions that needs to be answered, leave a super chat for that during the live show, because a lot of our shows are going to be in a different direction towards NFL content. A lot of our stuff is going to be towards the NFL and designed towards the NFL in its entirety. So it's not just going to be Atlanta Falcons, but if you want your Atlanta Falcon questions to be answered, again, either you have $199 to join the Mad Mike membership. Be a member of that for a month. And like I said, just a month. Every month, it just rolls over to $199 to join the Mad Mike membership. And all those people who are members, you leave a comment. We will make sure, we will be sure, even if the conversation isn't Falcons related, we will be sure to take that into account. But we are moving away from the Atlanta Falcons. There's been a solely Atlanta Falcons content. We're gonna start doing a lot of college talks. Coach, he does it himself, Coach Unchained. So we're just adding to what we already built over here and what you guys have helped us build over here. A lot of you guys are Oregon fans. John, Georgia Tech. A lot of people are Alabama fans. Don is a Michigan fan. Jude, he's an Auburn fan. So we got a lot of people with just different teams. So I think it's just, I mean, even because of, and quite a few people here are Ohio State fans. So we're moving to a lot of stuff. So it won't just be Atlanta Falcons, but if you want us to answer Atlanta Falcons questions, you have to be one, a member of Mad Mike membership. What is this? $199. Just hit the join tab. Go to the channel, hit the join tab. The join tab for just $199 a month, as well as you just leaving a super chat. All right. Those two ways that you can still continue to support us as Atlanta Falcons content, and we will be sure, okay, if you are members, we will be sure to prioritize your comments and your questions. All right. So with that being said, continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports. We got end games tonight. If everything goes as planned, we will have we'll have the deals on that lately to figure out but I got to get with the crew right now to figure out what the plans are tonight for the end games here on Mad Mike Sports. But that's all I got to say about that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I said, like I always end every show, do not take what we say, all of us in the chat, myself, the crew, don't take what we say to heart. All right? Because it's all in the spirit of debate. This is about talking ball, and sometimes shit get heated, and it's never personal. But if you take it personally, we don't give a fuck. Just unsubscribe. And that's all I got to say about that. And that's the bottom line, because Mad Mike said so. Peace.